Hey, I'm Janelle and this is toDIYfor. So I've been a little sick this week, so I'm going to keep it simple with this week's DIY fall arrangement. I'm going to show you how I put this together with thrift store items and some dollar store DIYs. So what you're going to need are these really ugly orange pumpkins from the dollar store. They're foam, and we're going to use this as our base and cover them and create some sweater pumpkins. So you'll also need a sweater. You can maybe pull something from your closet that you're not wearing anymore, or go to the thrift store like I did and pick this one up for $5. If you're picking one up from the thrift store, I would suggest going to the men's section and finding something that has a very wide sleeve. It's just a lot easier to wedge your pumpkin inside the sleeve, and then you can fold it over like I'm doing here and basically glue all the fabric to itself. I say glue the fabric to itself because these are styrofoam and the hot glue can tend to melt the styrofoam, so do your best in covering that all up. This is the bottom of the pumpkin. No one really sees it, but try and make it as tight and neat as possible. On the opposite side, trim off your fabric, and then you're going to do the exact same thing. You should be able to make a couple of pumpkins per sleeve of your sweater, and you can always use the center of your sweater as well. So we're going to cover up that seam with the pumpkin topper here, which is just some green styrofoam. I'm wrapping it up with some yarn that I have. You could also use burlap, or you could even just go outside and grab a stick and hot glue that to the top. I think that would look really cute as well. So there is my sweater pumpkin, and you can do these in all sorts of fabrics if you want to do a bunch of them. And my other item I'm doing here is a mirror sign. So this is from a previous DIY that I did a couple of weeks ago. It was a $4 mirror that I picked up at the dollar store, and these are some stickers that I grabbed at the dollar store. We're essentially using these to create a stencil, and we're going to stencil on a little sign here. I chose the word fall and that kind of formation, and I'm using the frosted glass spray paint. So I've done this before and I think it works really well. It's great on mirrors and on glass. You don't need a lot of it. I did 2 coats of this, and before it dries you're going to want to peel off the stencil. I find it best to use an X-Acto knife to help lift up the stickers so that you're not wiping off any of that paint before it dries, but as you see, the longer it dries, the more frosted effect you're going to get. And that's simply it. So I'm going to show you now how I styled everything together in a little more detail. Those are some old books that I picked up at the thrift store, and I'm propping my sign up here. This is a little jug that I picked up at the thrift store, painted it white, and those greens, believe it or not, came from the thrift store. I absolutely love them. I have them in a bunch of places in my home. Lucky find, I say. Gold little pot I flipped upside down to add some height to one of those pumpkins, and then I just arranged my other pumpkins here, and I actually painted that other white pumpkin white. It came from the dollar store as well. So let me know what you thought of this DIY. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'd love to see your DIYs at home, so you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Janelle Steeper. Tag me in any DIYs you make, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back next Wednesday. Cheers.